Yeah. Welcome to another episode of the Mad Lucrative Podcast. I am the host, the one, the only Magneto 7 in the building. That's me. That's him. So, hopefully y'all week was great. My week was great. My weekend was amazing. So, I had a friend. I can't say a direct friend. He's a mentor friend, right? We'll say that. A mentor friend. But everybody knows who Grant Cardone is. Uncle Grant. Listen, Uncle Grant said he wanted to get the end card. He wanted a lifetime reward for being able to use the N word. You can't do that. You can't do that. I want to hold on. Let me give Unc this, cause it's a no go. We can't do that. And let me see where we at. We can't. We belong to the street. We can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. So I have a lot of white friends. If y'all didn't know, TikTok, y'all might be new to the pod. Thank you for being here. Facebook, y'all already know who I am. But I have a lot of white friends, real white friends too, like country white friends, like that do hunting and like they do. They shoot. What they do? What is it called? Cow tipping. Cow tipping. Anything that's classified as white and as a black man, what we don't do, they do it. They actually do some of this stuff. So I don't think that we'll ever be in the space where we will give someone the space to use the N word, right? I think it's a little bit. Can we say degrading? Just the history of the word, right? And I'm talking to Uncle Grant right now, cause I love Uncle Grant. Grant is a great guy. He's helping a lot of folk. I won't just say black folk, cause in this context, you in hot fire, you in hot water right now. So we can't say black folk. We gonna stay away from that word right now. Right now, we gonna just say I've helped a lot of people that happen to be of brown. No, we can't even say that. I've helped a lot of people in general. Period. We gotta stay there, cause Grant Cardone. Okay, let me do this. I'll backtrack. I first was introduced to Grant Cardone's content, right, back in, I want to say 2017, 2018, one of them. Right when I was first starting to get into real estate and flipping houses and being a contractor, remodeling property. And I just like the aura. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Grant is one of them people that's, he's like Matthew McConaughey, right? Or like, what's my boy from, y'all might know on TikTok. What's my boy name from Django Unchained? Leonardo DiCaprio? I think that's his name. He's like that, like, you cool, you mad cool. We accept you, want to give you a big hug. We're going to give you the big piece of chicken. But if you use that word, it's going to be some issues. That word is not the same as saying cracker or any of the other stuff that we try to. That word has more weight to it. There's a certain weight that goes to it. And we won't stay away from that one for now. Now, I'm going to say this. If you do want to use the word around me, it might be okay if you come shoot the pot. They're going to be like, yeah, they're going to tear me up tomorrow. It's cool. They're going to tear me up. But again, welcome to the pod. Last week, we got into some good conversations regarding what we can do in business so we can make sure that we don't tank. And by tank, I mean be a failure. Do not succeed. Live on the streets. Belong to the streets. We talked about all of these things, and I actually was pulling from my book, Playbook to Production. I heard a lot of people liked it, so we're going to keep it going, right? We're going to keep it going this week. Still in the same chapter What chapter was this? I think it's chapter 12, but give me a second. Facebook, y'all be riding with me. Yo, appreciate y'all so much, yo. Do y'all remember what chapter or what rule we ended with last week? I just want to know. If it's anybody from TikTok that was here last week, do y'all know what chapter or what rule we ended with last week? No one knows on there. Some probably new people on TikTok. It's cool. Right. Yep. Yeah. So we ended on rule number 6 last week. Rule number 6 in my book is expand or die. And I'll just kind of recap for y'all so y'all can kind of see where we're coming from. So expand or die. The beginning of the text says, like any other business, it's important to understand what expansion looks like. And in the music business, it's a lot different from other businesses. So I was just talking about, I did a parallel last week between music business and contracting business because I know properties. I know how to price houses. I know what subs look like. I know what it looks like to get paid from finishing a property, the process of selling it, not even selling, the process of marketing the property, then the process of getting leads, then the process of getting people in there. Once they get there, then making sure that all the leads are vetted so they can approve for the loan to get the property. And then from a contractor standpoint, if I worked it out on a deal where I did some of the work, then I get some of the back end from the house being sold. So I know that process. So I paralleled that to the music business. And I was saying in music business, you can be talented and you don't know nobody and you're going to be unsuccessful. You're going to be broke. I promise you. It's a guarantee. You can put money on it. Like you're going to be broke because you got to have relationships to sustain yourself in the music business. In contracting world, yes, you do have to have relationships to sustain yourself, but a lot of people are more willing to take a chance and do business with you because you are one of those people that's shown your work. Like if you good for doing floors and you go in somebody's house and you drop the floors in, that's what we say. But you go in somebody's house and you drop the floors in and then you put the baseboards in, then you put the quarter around in, clean it up. People come walk through. Oh my God, this floor is beautiful. They're happy that they paid you $5,000 to do their floor, and they're gonna tell their friends that, yeah, I paid him $5,000 to do my floor, and he was great. And guess what? You're gonna be able to keep business going over and over and over and over and over, and get it quick. In music world, it's not like that. Like in music world, you have to be dope for one. Then after being dope, now in today's generation, you got to be self-contained. So that means having a producer, having a engineer that can mix and master your music, having a marketing person or a marketing team that helps you with your Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, then having money to get to certain places to do your own tours. I had a guy on my show. This was probably last spring. Last spring, I had a guy on my show, and y'all already know. My Facebook crowd knows where I'm going with this. But I had a guy on my show that was very intriguing by conversation. And what I say about that is he just had his head on together. And I said, yo, you're like the West Coast, Dre and Jay-Z. That was my direct words. I said, you like the West Coast Jay, just from a business standpoint. And guess who that guy's name is? Lil Russell. Right? This before like everybody's starting to see what they see now. I was like, yo, you're one of those. And I've had a lot of those moments in the music business, but I enjoy being able to pick out the best out of people or bring out the best out of people and help them see their potential. So, well, this ain't a coaching call. I know Facebook like, yeah, just get to the part. So rule number 7, we did number 6 last week. We did 1 through 6 last week. It's 12 rules. So hopefully I can get all the way through 12 today. Rule number 7. I'm going to put a thing right here. Matter of fact, I didn't even put a text on today's pod. So today's pod will be how not to be broke. How about that? How not to be broke. All right. So rule number 7, reinvest before reward. I'll start with the top of it. It says, I'm sure we've all heard the saying, don't put the cart before the horse. Well, a lot of people don't understand that means if you know, or if you think, because you don't know until it's in your pocket, but if you think that you got $1,000 coming, and out of that 1,000, you got a 1,000 things that you plan on doing, but you ain't got the $1,000 yet. So now we got little things like not Instacart, but what's those? Y'all know the apps that you can. It's kind of like paying for something in increments. You got those apps that you can pay for stuff in increments. If y'all know any of the sites, just let me know. But you have apps like that where you can pay a little piece of something and get the whole product, and you keep making payments on it. Now, the issue with that is this. If you plan on making a hasty purchase, like some shoes, we'll just say that. You plan on buying some shoes with the extra, and then that leaves you with like $800, right? What happens if you get a deal to come up on a camera and you still ain't got the money in your pocket yet? You about 2 weeks out before they send you $1,000. What's gonna happen? You're gonna be looking short because you done ran through the whole $1,000, right? So what I like to teach everybody that I coach is reinvest before reward. If you know you got $1,000 coming, always designate 20% of that money towards anything that you need for your business or you need for your art. In producer world, you might need a certain program. That program might be, since everything is a subscription now, might be $15 a month, $20 a month. If I were you, I would add up, okay, if I need this program and it's $20 a month, how much is that for 12 months, right? You do 20 times 12. Y'all, I love numbers too, if you didn't know. Do 20 times 12, that's $240 that you need to designate to that program, because that program is going to help you with your content. It's going to help you with your sound. It's going to help you build your following. Your following is now going to help you reinvest into your product and build your sound and build your visuals. And now you got somebody to sell to. But if you don't reinvest before reward, you're going to be looking straight crazy. You're going to be looking crazy in these streets. All right? Reinvest before reward. That's number 7. All right? Number 8. Move against the norm and create the new norm. I love that rule. That rule, I've lived by that rule my whole career. Now, I will say, it's kind of bit me in the ass a few times. I can't lie. Reason being, a lot of the times in music business, they don't want something that's not vetted, as any other business. But if you are trying to create something that's new, i.e., say you do a lot, all your songs you do, you don't put no 808s in them. Y'all producers, y'all know what I'm talking about. But say all these songs you produce, you choose to not put 808s in them. And you know 80% to 90% of radio music and streaming music has 808s in it to carry the bottom. Well, it's going to take the business a while to kind of be like, I like what the music sounds like, but it just don't make sense. It don't have no low end, because they're programmed to hear that low end over and over and over and over and over again. That's what sells. So moving against the norm and creating a new norm might be the long route out. But what happens is this: when you move against the norm and create the new norm, you get people like Pharrell. I ain't gonna say, because everybody be leaving Chad out. Chad is one of them too. Y'all can't leave Chad out. But you get people like Pharrell. You get Timbalands. You get Dr. Dre's. You get Just Blaze and Kanye's. You get these type of caliber of producers. Another person, you might get a Beyonce. You get a Michael Jackson. When you move against the norm and create a new norm, because now nobody has nothing they can gauge you off of. You the only one that did it. You the first one that did it. And then don't have no following that you done built off of what you done made hot. Now the business is at your feet. And the reason I say that, think about this. Y'all, my Facebook crowd, y'all know I've talked about Mr. Beast. Do y'all know who Mr. Beast is on TikTok? Mr. Beast content is ridiculous. And I love to study people that's at the top of whatever game that I'm playing. I feel like every game that I get into is a game, whether it's music business, whether it's contracting world, building houses. When I see people say, yeah, I want to get some houses, I want to build a community, and I want some skyscrapers. I want to build 5 skyscrapers before I die. How about that? And I say it with a straight face because I mean it, but that's the stuff I think of. Like, I think of people that's at the top of the game. So Mr. Beast, right now, Mr. Beast's net worth is $105 million as a content creator. Predominantly on YouTube. So I look at people like that and I say, what made them pop? And what makes a lot of people pop is they just do it different. He might post the same episode every week, but it's going to be, all right, this week I'm going to have them drink some coffee and some soda out of a straw, and I'm going to see if they could drink 10 gallons by 3 minutes. Next week, I'm going to have them drink milk out of a big straw, but I want them to drink it in 30 seconds. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just different. It's different content, and he's built a following that's ridiculous. So I challenge everybody that's in your own space, whether you're in music world, whether you're in business, whether you're in contracting world, even if you're in accounting. I don't know how many accountants we see on any of the social media platforms that's actually killing their content, like doing it different. This is an example. Some of my people call me the example king. This is an example. What if you saw, and this is tax season too, we're going to get on that. But what if you saw an accountant get on TikTok, get on YouTube, whatever, and they say, man, I just cut my ear with a bottle cap. People are going to be like, what? And they're going to rewind it over and over and over and over, right? But then by the end of the video, it says, because I wasn't listening to my client when they told me that if they didn't save money, they would get cut by whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like tax cuts, and equate it to something. That video is probably going to go viral. And this is an accountant. This is not something that's like an elaborate, like a dancer or the traditional artsy based business. We're talking about accounting. How many people you think they're going to get for their tax returns for this year? Everybody going to go to that person. All right, next, rule number 9. Manage yourself until you can't. I'm going to say that one again. Manage yourself until you can't or cannot, for the people that want the whole whatever. What I noticed with a lot of artists, and I could read each rule that's actually in the chapter, but if you want the book, go get the book. The book is Playbook to Production. That's my book. Playbook to Production. It's in my link tree and all that stuff. But anyway, manage yourself until you can't. What I notice is artists in general get to this space where they feel like they need a manager, or they need a agent or extra help to do all of these things that you can easily do yourself. And the reason I say that is I've managed 3 businesses, and a day job, and create content, and have a family, and be a husband. And I think I'm pretty good at it. And I still don't have, I have help now. I got help now, so I can't say that. Shouts out to Tracy. I love you. But, I didn't start by having all of these people to help me. I just started the content. I started producing. When I was first starting to be a music producer in the 90s, when I was first starting the music production in the 90s, I was like, yo, I need a guitar because I need to play the guitar. Learn how to play the guitar. I told my grandmother I needed a bass guitar because this lead is like it's high. I need a bass for the bottom. She got me a bass guitar. Got a keyboard. Got a drum set. Got an 8-track recorder. And I started putting all these pieces together. Now I'm a producer, right? From there, I said, well, I need to try to get this music out. I need to try to let me just mail it out. I got little mailers. Like y'all got email stuff now. Y'all lucky. Back in the day, I had to mail the stuff. I had to pay for the stamp, get the little envelope, mail it to each label that I thought was going to listen. And I did that for years. It took maybe about 5 or 6 years after I got in college and I started getting some, I think I got MySpace messages sent to me. And some guy named Dre McKenzie that was at G Unit was like, yo, I think you're a dope music producer. I think you should try to come up to New York and do some work. I'm in college. This started in high school. That's why I talk to my people on all the social platforms because it's like, yo, you don't have to wait to do something in your 20s or your late teens. I started in high school, like ninth grade. And it carried me. All of my 20s was music producer. And I enjoyed my 20s. I did a lot of stuff. But I did all of this stuff for at least 15, I'm going to say 10 or 15 years before a manager came in and said, let me help manage you. Once the manager came in, yeah, it did speed up the process. And I got Eminem and Jim Jones and Dipset and all these people. But when I first started, it was just me. So manage yourself until you can't. When it get crazy and you making 6 figures a month and you making flights to LA and Paris and all this stuff, all right, yeah, you need help now. You need help. But if you at your house and you just starting, no, you don't need no help. Plan better. Do a better job planning and managing what you got going on. All right, rule number 10. I love rule number 10. This is a good one. Play dumb when needed. So, I would say it's a characteristic of the Scorpio nation. Shouts out to us. But I think it's important to play dumb when needed because say you're in a room full of millionaires, right? And everybody knows that they're millionaires. Everybody knows that they have extra money to do whatever they feel like doing when they want to do it. It's a given. I'm going to spend $1,000 on the plate. I'm going to do it too. Let's have fun. We just spent $5,000, whatever, on drinks like that. These type of rooms, you want to play dumb, right? Because by doing that, they're going to teach you everything you need to know. And it sounds kind of conniving, but it's not, because what happens is this. If you are in a space where you're not the smartest and everybody's willing to teach you and you're trying to play like you're that guy, you're never going to get it. They'll never give you the information that you need to move forward because they're like, oh, he's good, so I don't got to tell him nothing. You know what I mean? Another reason to play dumb when needed is this. I try to make sure I take time to expound on everything because I know these are real conversations that I have with people. So it was one particular music exec that was acting as if we were cool. And he was like, yeah, well, Nito, you're my guy. And, I can't, every time you come in the office, it's beautiful, man. You got good energy, this, and that. All right. That's what he said to my face. When I leave the office, then it's different. It's a different conversation. And what I noticed was this. If I would have played like I knew what conversation was being had, then I never would have been able to pursue certain things legally and get what's mine. Right? I'll leave it at that. So if y'all need me to expound more on play dumb when needed, I will, but we're moving on to rule number 11. The branding code. Ask yourself these questions. Is there a color I always wear if I'm on IG Live or TikTok Live? Is there certain questions that I lean towards or lean into when I'm being interviewed? Are there certain products that I would like to sell or repackage? Are there conversations that spark your interest that you could turn into a podcast? These are things that you turn into money. All right. I didn't start doing the Mad Lucrative podcast based off of just want to be hot in the podcast streets. That's actually been one of the furthest things from me ever. Even when I'm producing, like, I don't care to be the hottest in the room. I end up being the hottest in the room. But anyway, I don't care to be the guy that everybody is solid, like, just slobbing over. Like, for me, I like the respect. I like hearing when they come into the room, we know we about to get a hit. And when we get a hit, everybody makes money because he came to the room. Those are the conversations I like. Even in contracting world, if I come in and we're remodeling a house, I like to hear, oh, well, get Mike to come in, because if Mike comes in, then, he going to help us stay within budget, and we going to make $100,000 off this property because he came into the room. Those are the type of conversations I coach everybody to get into the space of being hungry for. Don't be hungry for the likes. The likes will come at some point. At some, like, even with me, if I just sat and took time to look at each podcast, like, I went from, and part of that is because I'm trying to be effective in this space, but I got some pods that's done, I think the most is 15,000 views and like 100 comments and likes and all that stuff. Cool. That's great. But what if the next pod only does 500? Or what if the next pod does 10? Does that mean I should just stop? No. Content's forever. Content, and I like for all of my coachees, I think that's what you call it, I don't know. But everybody I coach, I like to tell them to create as much content as possible and put it out. What happens is this. If you look at content like royalties, for instance, I'll get a royalty check from 10 years ago today. And guess what? In the next 5 years, I'm getting another royalty check 3 times a year or 4 times a year, depending on the payouts. Shouts out to Sony and Universal. I love y'all. But, it's something that's reoccurring. And I did this 10 years ago. So if you look at content the same way and you say, okay, well, I'm going to put as much content out as possible. And yeah, I might only get 19. Like the most recent post I made, and I would try to put it on the screen so y'all can see it. I might do it on YouTube. But anyway, the most recent short that I posted on YouTube only did 19 views. 19, right? But if I look before that, the one before it did 300 views. The one before that did 1,400 views. The one before that did 1,700. 17,000, 500. So it's like, yo, create the content. Create the content. Let the people get it whenever they get it. As long as you do your part, right? Do your part and make sure you make it hot. All right. I think branding is the code. I think I got that rule number 11. That's done. If y'all got more questions, please Facebook. If y'all hold them to the end. We're on rule number 12. Rule number 12, and we 30 minutes in. Okay, we good. We Gucci. Know your musical positioning. This is specifically for my musicians. Know your musical positioning. If you are in the space where you've done music for a while, you've had some success, now you can kind of set your price. And this kind of goes back to rule number 6, like what we talked about last week, but it's kind of in the same vein. But if you know that your specific sound belongs on movie soundtracks, or your sound belongs on everybody's shorts as like the underneath sound pad, I would do as much music as I can to fit that space. Because this is what happens with a lot of producers, singers, songwriters. We create music and you say, well, my music is for everybody. No, it's not. Let Uncle Nito be the first person to tell you your music is not for everybody. Just own it. Just swallow, take a deep breath, own it. The music is not, everything that you create is a direct reflection of what you're living, for one. And for two, your music might belong in stadiums, but you're trying to push it on people at a speakeasy. That's a perfect example. If you make music that belongs in stadiums and you're not ready for stadiums yet, I would shop that song. Give it to Rihanna. Give it to Beyonce. Give it to somebody. Give it to Taylor Swift. Give it to somebody that has the reach to get that song out there. Because one, what's going to happen? Again, what's up? For one, you got music that's spinning. You're going to get a royalty check over and over. You're going to get some publishing. And that's, again, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, after you dead, your kids get to have that. Your mama gets to have that. But if you spend your time making stadium records, trying to perform them at speakeasies, you're going to be looking crazy in these streets. And people are going to be like, I like the song, but why is it so loud? Or another example, the polar opposite. You could be a person that only makes trap music. Your strong suit is trap. Every song you make is about cocaine and dope and everything, and you do it good. I mean, everybody bopping. Why would you try to perform that at somebody's church? You see what I'm saying? You don't write gospel music. You write trap music. Put it somewhere where people can use it. I give you a hint. How about the workout? How about fitness gyms and all that kind of stuff? I bet you they'll play that song. You got to have some edits. You got to have an edit for it, but I bet you they'll play that trap music because it's trying to get people hype. It encourages them to do something. It's a movement. But yeah, that's all 12 rules. If you're coming in late from TikTok or Facebook, all the rest of 1 through 6 is on YouTube already. I posted it from last week. This is coming up tonight. With 33 minutes in. I told you, we good. So now is the time I let people, if y'all got some questions, please send the questions. I will address everything. And I got more of the book. I might touch on the successful schedule next week. So please come next Wednesday, same time. But if you got some questions, please shoot them to me. Y'all know I love them. How do you be productive? Okay. That's a question from Facebook. How do you be productive? Now, I'll use a broad example of that. So for me, being productive starts in the morning. And honestly, being productive, if you're talking about week to week, it starts on Sunday, right? Because think about it like this. If you got, I think the average week, not the average, every week has 168 hours. I think it's 168 hours in 7 days, right? If you use 80 of them hours working on something, then you only have a certain amount of time left. What we got about, let's say you got 10 hours. Let's just say you got 10 hours a week of productive time. I would not use my productive time entertaining airhead conversations, if that makes sense. And I'll say this. I got a lot of good friends. I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all before I say what I was saying. But all of my friends are like me. Every friend I got can have their own podcast. We talk. Like we talk. But if I'm trying to build my business and I'm trying to get some leads, and you might get leads from emails, you might get leads from sending people DMs. However you get your leads, you need to take time to get those leads so you can get the business to make money. But what happens is, say we spend 4 hours of airhead conversation time within a 1 week span, right? And then what comes up, you might have somebody's birthday party. They're going to invite you to it. You're going to go to the birthday party. Then somebody's post, oh, this dope movie on Netflix just came out. I got to watch this movie. That movie is dope. I got to watch it. Then somebody's from your family is like, yo, I'm coming in town. I want to see you. They're going to come over and see. Like, stuff comes up. You might get a flat tire. You might get anything is going to come up to hinder you from being productive. It's going to be up to you to be disciplined enough to like land on that productivity for the week. And I like to start all of my weeks on Sunday. Sunday evening is like kind of that chill time. You got time to think. And another thing I will add to that, I saw that question too. If y'all got questions on TikTok, please send them. But I will answer that. But another thing is, if you add money to being productive, it'll change everything. Reason I say that is this. How can you say that you've been productive if you don't have anything to show for it? All right. Now, it don't have to be money. It could just be something that's based in numbers. Case in point. Say, for instance, you're going to post 3 times a day on every social media platform, and you want to aim to get 3 people to start following you per day. And out of those 3 people that follows you per day, you hope to get 1 lead per week. Right? So 3 people per day. Y'all know what I'm doing. I'm getting the calculator. Yes, I am. I'm getting the calculator. So you do 3 people a day. 3 times 7 is what? 21. Right? And you get 1 lead. 1 lead a week. That's 4 leads a month. Now, out of those 4 leads a month, say somebody cashes out and they buy whatever your product is. It could be lotion. It could be a beat. It could be a song. Whatever you do, you can count on that one person to buy something every week. What happens is this, or every month, every month. You could depend on one person to buy something every month. At some point, you're going to start getting a person a month, and you get say you have a $500 offer. And we just start there. Say you get one person a month at $500. You made $6,000 for the year. $6,000 in your pocket that fast from one person a month. One person. And that's posting 3 times a day, aiming to get one person a week, right? So let's fast track it. Let's say you start picking up your steam. You start picking up your steam and you get 20 people to start following you a month, right? So you getting 240 people, but out of that 240, now you can start counting on percentages. So say you get 50% of the people that follow you to buy something from you. So that 20%, or did I say 20%? I said 20, I think. I said 20%. 20% of $240 is what? Do y'all know? Y'all know 20% of $240. You got to carry the. Ain't nobody got no answers. It's $48. Golly, $48, right? So you get let's say those dollars to money. You got 48 people to buy a product from you for the year. So you do 500, same product times 48. Now you got $24,000. $24,000 that you made from posting on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. $24,000. And let's say you got a good job already. I don't know nobody that's gonna fight over 24,000, and that's just 240 people. That's 20% of 240 people. We ain't even gonna say what if you got 10,000 followers and you start getting percentages like that. That's how people are making real money. That's how they make the money. Yeah, all right. So we good on there. All right. The other question. I think I answered this before. So the question that they just sent was, how do I incorporate my family in my business? I'm glad. That's a good one. So the way we work, my wife and I, and now we got our girls working, all of us are in some facet of content Because it's easy for us. We do it. This is what we've been doing forever. Like, and I think it's funny that people are saying it's content. It's just creating something. Like, I'm thankful for the new generation saying that we're naming it content, but it's everything. It's media. It's media. We'll say that. The way we do a lot of things is we help plan together. So that Sunday plan that I was telling you about, my Sunday plan consists of what I need to get done for the week, content-wise, money-wise, business-wise, along with what she needs to get done. And if anything that she needs to get done, I need to be incorporated in, it's planned then. If that makes sense. It's planned then, so it's no hiccups. We can all move. Like, we use the same spaces. We use the same 2 studios and the same microphones and cameras and all this stuff. But I'll shoot on Wednesdays, going live on Wednesdays, and she might shoot on Mondays. See how that works? Our girls' show is shot, or is more so shot on the weekends, but we put their show out on Tuesdays or Fridays. It's easy. But see, what's going to happen is at some point, one of those will pick up enough where we can count that as secondary income. Once we can do that, now it's time to start hiring people to do certain things for us. Like, now I'm the cameraman, I'm the audio man, and the drops and all that stuff. Like, even when I have commercials that I have to do drops for on all my other social platforms, I shoot all of those drops on Wednesdays after I do my lives with y'all. So I kind of went the long route around. But that's how I incorporate my family, if that helps. And then we do have downtime. We do schedule some type of downtime. As of the last 2 years, we've been trying to plan trips and vacations, but we didn't take vacations and trips for at least 8 to 9 years. Like I told y'all, we were broke. So it's like, yo, you can't, well, I will say this: we were broke and did not have a idea of how to get out of being broke. So we had to train ourselves to be different people so we could do different things and get different outcomes. So hopefully they answered it. Shoot, yeah. All right, so they asked a question about how do you monetize your music? I'm still here for y'all too, TikTok. You barely hanging on. How do you monetize your music? So how I look at music now, because we are in a weird space where there's not really a lot of upfront money like it was back in the day. That just don't exist. So monetizing your music has to be looked at in a holistic standpoint, right? So if you are, I'm gonna use music producer. I love using music producer. What's up, Sharon? But if you're a music producer and you're trying to monetize your music, you should already know. Well, first do the research on which social media platforms pay the most when it comes to post to play. Post to play. Write that down. Post to play. If you are on, I love you, TikTok, but if you're on TikTok and you're posting over and over and over and over, know that it's gonna take a while before you start getting some money. That platform is a community based. It's gonna get you the eyes, but might not necessarily get you the money. So if I were you, if y'all really pay attention to all the shorts and all of the reels and everything that I post, at the end of every reel that I post, what happens? You see, follow me on whatever. Follow me over here and, do this, subscribe, like, share it. And that's because I know that I'm not going to make no money on TikTok. I'm not going to I make some money on YouTube and on Instagram and Facebook, but the majority of it is made from my products. People buy my books. People buy coaching calls. People might have me come in to do actual coaching for groups. And that's where I get my income. I'm not going to necessarily monetize it just from posting the clips. So music producer, make sure you got a lot of information on who pays the most. Right? If you know who pays the most for your music, then I would post there. And I'm only reason I'm not giving you one specific platform is because I don't know what type of music you create. Your music might not, again, we just talked about that. Your music might not belong on a TikTok. Your music might belong on YouTube where people can download it and put it underneath the talking videos. Y'all know the talking videos with the captions and all that stuff. That might be where your music belongs, and you might make millions off of that. Or your music might belong with a major artist. It just depends. You see what I'm saying? Like everything is monetization for me. It's not just the internet. It's not just online sales. Like it's everything in general. Did that help? All right, good. Oh, somebody got the book. All right, so they asked the question about the you know what chapter that was? Do you know what chapter that was in? They asked the question about how do you know when you how can you figure out how to stand out amongst the confusion? How can you stand out amongst the confusion? You know what chapter that was? I'm testing you. Chapter 4, right. How do you stand out amongst the confusion? So when I wrote that chapter, it was really based off of looking at reading the room. For one, you got to read the room and see what's going on. For two, you got to make sure that what you're doing is not irritating the room. That makes sense? Cause no one wants to go to a wedding and there's rock music playing. You read the room wrong, bro. We're not playing Aerosmith in this wedding, bro. You might, depending on the person, but we not playing Gucci Mane at this wedding. As much as you like this song, it's gonna irritate the room. So I will say know the story. Well, you already read the chapter, but know the story that you're trying to sell in your music. If you know what story you're trying to sell in your music, then you'll know how to move. You'll know who your music belongs to. You'll know that single women over the age of 30 likes to hear my music because they like to burn candles to it. So you make 1,000 more songs like that because you know that's the group that's going to buy it. Or take it to my space. I know men that work out between men at the age of 35 to 40 that like to work out, like to listen to my music while they work out. Make their whole playlist. I believe in making music that people live to. And if y'all notice, like me and my wife's catalog, shouts out to Shamia Crawford, that's my baby right there. But our catalog consists of music that people can live with. We'll do songs for the Christmas season. We got 2 albums for Christmas. So when Christmas comes around every year, you go listen to our music. Put our songs in your rotation for Christmas because we made this for you to live off of. If you go to work out, that's why I produce Rock Ding's music. Rock Ding's music is all just hype, trap style music because it's going to get you hype while you work out. If that makes sense, when we did the Soft Light album, that's kind of like that mental health decompressing space. Again, the candle lighting music. We made that music with that intention. So if you are a music producer or a songwriter or whoever you are, I would suggest that you make music that people can live to. Because if you make songs that's popular for the time, for the moment, guess what? When the moment runs out, so does your music. You got to create something else. But when you hear a Uncle Luke record, dance to my booty, I think that was Two Live Crew or somebody's tag team. Man, one of them. Dance too much booty in the pants. It make you want to dance. You think about the summertime. You think about the beach. You think about just doing some reckless stuff and having fun because that's what the song is promoting. You don't want to hear Maxwell. You might, depending on who you are, but you don't want to hear Maxwell. Why you trying to be at the party? Unless you're trying to take something to the house. That ain't who you trying to hear. That music does not belong in that space. So know who your music belongs to. Know what story you're trying to sell. And when you do that, that helps you stand out from the confusion. Because the confusion is going to be this. I don't know who's hot online. And I think the last artist I left off keeping track with is Lil Key, Uzi, and I don't know. You know, if it ain't the ones that's like top tier Drake, when you hear Drake, you know it's Drake. It's like Pepsi. It's like the Pepsi of rap. You hear Jay-Z, it's like, oh, it's Coca-Cola. Snoop Dogg, oh, you gonna get some weed. Like that's weed music. Like that's what I mean. Like have something that means something that's I can't. What is it? Simultaneously mentioned with your music. One of those. I can't remember how to phrase it, but whatever your music stands for, yeah, create that music. Y'all have any more questions? TikTok, y'all ain't got no questions for me. Y'all ain't got nothing. All right, this will be my last one. Where we at? We have 52 in. All right, yeah. So this might be my last question. How do you find artists to complement your sound? I will answer that question with another question. Where are you? Right? Okay. You want to be a smart ass. It's cool. So I'm on the internet. Okay, so if you are online and you're creating music and you're trying to find an artist that complement your sound, I would do one thing. All right, I would take a week or two, maybe even a month, and just do research on everybody that does music like you, right? And then from there, I would make another subcategory of people that listen to those people that make music like you. If you're the music producer or if you're the songwriter, whatever you do, find music that listen to the people that make music like you. And then I would start going through each profile. If this person is a singer, I send them a DM. Yo, I'd love to do some work with you. And don't try to sell them. You're not trying to sell nobody because they don't know who you are. You're nobody right now. And I mean, I'm not trying to say that like talk you down, like nothing like that. But like nobody knows who you are yet. So you got to build rapport with people. So again, I'm going to say it again. You find people that produce music like you. That's one. Then from those people that produce music like you, find the people that listen to the people that produce music like you for two. Then make a subgroup of all of those people that are a singer, songwriter, a rapper, whatever they do. If it's a certain thing that you're looking for that's missing that makes your music stand out, look for that thing. I promise you, I don't know how many people are in the world. It's millions, billions, whatever. You're going to find that person that's dope, that complements your sound. They might actually be in your city. Now you can start creating content with that person and post the content. Now y'all start building a following. Now you got a fan base of people that love your sound with that person's voice and the two together. Now you have leverage. You can go to a brand, you can go to a label, you can go anywhere and say, hey, look, we be making hits. It might not be a hit to y'all standards, but we got following that proves that we make hits. We got 10,000 people that show up to all of our stuff when we go live. If we go do a concert, whatever, like they're going to show up. What y'all want to do? Y'all want to do a deal? Oh, we're not doing a 360. We're going to do a little licensing deal. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm ruthless, bro. I'm a great businessman. All right. Did that answer your question? All right, you're welcome, y'all. All right, y'all good? Yo, so please come back next week again. I will be here all year. This episode will be posted on YouTube tomorrow. So if you look up the Mad Lucrative podcast on YouTube, you'll see this. This is episode 70. Again, I love helping people. If y'all are interested in doing a coaching call, please reach out to me, Magneto7Booking. That's my personal email, Magneto7Booking, MAGNEDO 7 Booking. It's always at the bottom. in the subject. Also, if you are in Atlanta, please holler at me. I want to see you. I want to meet a lot of people that's starting to follow the pod. I love the feedback. I love that people are actually trying to create a community around some of the content, because what I've noticed over the years is in the creative community is very cliquish, for one. Yes, I know it. It's for me. I think being clicked up is kind of like a defense mechanism for creative people. Like if you control how many people come into your space, then you know it ain't gonna be but so many people to get in. And I don't think that's from a malice standpoint. I just think people like to work with who they like to work with, and it's fine. But I love that this content, the Mad Lucrative community, is built up of a lot of people. I got real estate people. I've had a lot of good real estate people that's come on the pod and just drop jewels about how to get financing, how to be an investor for real estate, how to get be a builder. I ain't even put that episode out yet, but how to be a builder, how to get your license, how to do tile, how to do drywall. Like I got a lot of people. In addition to that, we got Women's Month coming up in March, so I'm gonna have a lot of women come on, and they're gonna be talking to the ladies especially, because I've been getting on the ladies. I got on the men too this month, but I've been getting on everybody because I just believe in holding everybody accountable for everything that they do. Now, accountability don't even necessarily have to be a bad thing. You can be accountable and you made $1 million deal work this year. You're accountable. You did it. It's your fault. It's your fault in a good way. Let's do 10 million the next year. Like that's what I want to promote in the Mad Lucrative community. So if we got investors over here that want to invest in something that's going on, please holler at me. If we got artists that need investors, please holler at me. And let's keep it moving, yo. Let's keep it moving. It's been episode 70. And love y'all. See y'all next week. Peace.